Welcome back to the Kaspa Silver YouTube channel. In today's video, I want to talk about Kaspa and the ASIC mining debate. If you're new around here, consider subscribing to the channel. We put a video out every single day this month except for Sundays, and we're keeping it real for you and giving serious education and opinion mainly on Kaspa. Also consider leaving a like on the video if you guys like it after watching it. But before we get into the topic, let's first talk about price action. So to begin, Bitcoin has been having a rough time for the past week. It's down about 7%. And Kaspa for the past week is about down 5%, 6%. And currently it's been holding out really well. It's actually been holding off really a whole lot better than Bitcoin. And today it's up 6%. And so if we look at the 1 month chart, we are currently setting a really nice floor at this consolidation zone right here. Many people keep saying that we're going to drop lower than this. I don't know. To me, it looks like we're going to hold this floor, especially with the upcoming new exchanges coming up for Kaspa. I think you're going to be able to hold this pretty well and may not ever see this floors down here ever again. I don't know. But remember to do your own research. Me personally, I'm buying consistently every single week, dollar cost averaging in. I don't care about the price because I believe and have the conviction of this project long term, and I understand my investment and my risk. So please make sure that you do the same and understand your investment. It's very important to do that so that you know what's going on and that you will not go off of emotions and price action to determine when you should buy or sell. Personally, I'm never selling this because this is a long-term play for me. All right, so let's get in to this very heated debate. So if you've been in the Discord channel for Kaspa, there's been this person named Ice River or whatever came along, said, "Hey guys, I'm not a scam. I made ASICs for Kaspa to mine it, and basically this would mean that ASIC mining will make GPU mining non-existent because ASIC miners are going to be able to take over the space and make GPU miners less profitable, and these ASIC miners really profitable because they're able to mine, get a lot of blocks faster because their hash rate is really, really high, which allows them to make the profit back." Now, mind you, these Ice River ASIC miners are currently going for like $30,000, and I think like the lower model is like $15,000. So to begin, it's just like, my opinion when it comes to this is that, first off, when you buy an ASIC miner, you're going to mine the coin. You got to get your profit back. So either way, if this becomes a little bit mainstream, I think personally this locks in new investors into the space because they have to get their profit back. Now, yes, I know the profit is really quick. They could probably get it within a month and then they could just sell on us. But honestly, to me, that doesn't change what Kaspa is doing, and it doesn't change the vision of Kaspa. And also, recently there was an article put out and about Kaspa and the ASIC by Nathaniel. Really good read. I encourage you guys all to read it. I kind of just want to hit this point right here. It says ASICs are considered the ultimate destination of proof of work coins. Bitcoin comes to mind when I think of ASIC. So when I'm thinking of comparing Bitcoin's lifetime when ASICs came out, and because Bitcoin had the same foundings of starting with CPU, then GPU, and then ASICs came out, and I think there's another one there too, but ASICs is the dominant one to mine cryptocurrencies. So attempting to create ASIC-resistant algorithms only delays the unavoidable, as specialized hardware will eventually outperform other mining methods. Moreover, ASICs provide more stable security than GPU miners since they cannot switch between cryptocurrencies opportunistically. This is particularly important for cryptocurrencies with fast transaction confirmations. So yes, ASIC mining increases the security of the network. So first off, I don't understand why people want ASIC resistance, other than the fact that the people who are complaining about it are GPU miners that are upset that they're going to just start losing profits. And honestly, this is inevitable. And also, ASIC resistant isn't really a real thing. No matter what, you could become ASIC resistant, But either way, there's always going to be some kind of hardware that will come out that will be better than a GPU. You can make better hardware, better GPU hardware to mine a certain coin and basically just outperform other people's GPU miners. So it, to become ASIC resistant is it's that's why it's in quotations here. It's not really a thing. There's always going to be some kind of hardware that's going to outperform you. But I think people are being a little greedy of the fact that, yeah, it's been easy to mine with GPU miners. ASICs are coming. Oh, snap, why this early? But I think comparing this with Bitcoin will shed some light on how it's really not that early. ASICs are not coming out that early on this coin. To begin, also, I want to give a little bit of history of the fact that Kaspa was started by DAG Labs. And if you don't get this with Kaspa, if you're new to the channel, I explain all of this in this video right here called The Origins of Kaspa. We go through all the details of DAG Labs and explain why this no longer exists with Kaspa anymore. This does not mean that Kaspa had a company behind it anymore. It doesn't anymore. It did in the beginning, but it never got launched with the company. Eventually, this company fails. But I just want to make this point here that DAG Labs, founded in 2018 by Jonathan and backed mainly by Polychain and lesser accomplice and Genesis Mining Investments in the amount of $8 million to implement Ghost Stack protocol and the open source code of the coin, and to develop and later sell and lease an optical ASIC mining devices for that coin. In other words, for Kaspa. So this whole debate about ASICs are bad and it's gonna ruin the decentralization of the coin. It doesn't make sense to me because Jonathan has been working on this project for over 10 years, guys. This has been something Jonathan's been working on. He purposely made a company, a little startup, that was eventually it was supposed to make ASIC miners to start with the inception of Kaspa. But that didn't happen because DAG Labs failed. And again, if you watch that video, I cover all that. So it doesn't make sense to me that Jonathan launched this coin open source without the ASIC mining devices that he wanted to do originally, and just like missed the most simplest thing. He missed the most simplest thing that would just destroy his whole entire project. ASIC mining is going to destroy Kaspa. It doesn't make sense to me. I think Jonathan is a lot smarter than that. And again, he was purposely making a company to have ASIC miners ready to go for the inception of the coin and to sell them. But this didn't happen. So let's continue looking forward here. And let's look at this. 62% has been mined with CPU/GPU miners. And a lot of GPU miners I've seen in the Discord space say things like, oh, well, it's coming too soon. It's coming too early. And honestly, I mean, you guys had a 62% advantage of mining. I think that's like the biggest opportunity for you guys ever, especially if you're trying to compare it to Bitcoin's opportunity. So I also want to just make the point, if you don't understand the circulating supply and the current supply, and they recently updated this page now so you could see it live. It's always increasing a lot. Guys, check out this video right here where I talk about the tokenomics, and it's fully explained and why it's so high, especially for this coin. But back to the fact that this is 62% already mined. If we do a little research here, we go over here, it says, when did Bitcoin ASICs start? So ASIC mining took over Bitcoin in 2012 and was about 200 times more powerful than the standard GPU miners of the time. So I pulled up the chart over here for 2012, and 2012 is somewhere around this area over here. And you could see that the price was literally, guys, we're talking like the price was nothing back in this day when ASIC mining came out, and people thought, oh, it's over. And I think the worst crash that happened during this time of ASIC mining and it coming out was right here. And what was this price? The price was $16 for Bitcoin, and it had a crash all the way to $7. And if we go to the top here, we could see that right there. Oh, look at that. That's a nice like 60% crash for Bitcoin back in the day. So this is just also a little tip here. When Kaspa's going through these crashes, this is nothing new in cryptocurrency. This happens so many times. Imagine the people back in the day and holding Bitcoin and seeing it go from 16 to $7. Oh my goodness, lost 50-60% of my investment, and they sell because they don't understand their investment. They don't really know what they're getting into. So we go over here, we can look at the circulating supply of Bitcoin in 2012. And I would say in 2012, it was just hitting 8 million Bitcoins were mined. Now, the max supply for Bitcoin is at 21 million. So if we do a simple math there, which is you divide 8 million divided by 21 million, we get that when ASICs came out for Bitcoin, it was literally only 38% of Bitcoin was mined. Only 38%. With Kaspa, ASICs just came out. They're not really fully out. Not everyone has them yet. And we're already at 62% mined. Like, almost doubled. So, when I look at these things and these factors, guys, I think ASIC mining is just a ton of FUD that's going around with ASIC mining just to scare people, really. But they don't understand that this doesn't really damage the coin. This is good for the coin in the future because it increases security. And in my opinion, I think it incentivizes these ASIC miners to hold the coin long term to get better profits, and it incentivizes them to be honest miners. And then it's going to also incentivize the pools, because that's another thing. People talk about the pools, which these miners mine to, because if you solo mine, usually you're not going to be able to get the most profit, because solo mine, there's people that have better equipment. So then you mine to a pool that then they pay you the profits, because the pool is the one that's doing the majority of the work. And people think that pools for mining means centralization. And let me kind of show you guys that a little bit. So Bitcoin pools. Let me see if I could see there's a chart for Bitcoin for all the different pools. Here we go, right here. So this is basically all the different mining pools, right? And people try to say that, oh, look, Bitcoin's centralized because these pools are holding like 30% of all the rewards for Bitcoin, 25%, but this does not mean centralization. Miners have all authority to mine to this pool if they want to. And ultimately, the biggest problem is the fact that if you want to, if this pool randomly becomes a non-honest pool and they start actually not paying out the Bitcoin to the miners, guess what? Everyone will just leave the pool. And this has happened in the past with different pools. I think it was this one right here, Poolin. Poolin used to hold like over 40%, 50% of the whole entire share of mining pools, and randomly they stopped paying out to the miners. So what happened? They literally are gone. Like, people just leave. So you're incentivized to be an honest miner, an honest pool as well. So honestly, in my opinion, I just don't see ASIC mining being that big of a problem for Kaspa. But these are my opinions. I'm not going to act like I know exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to mining and pools and all that kind of stuff, because that stuff kind of goes a little bit over my head. But just based on this little research that I have done, this is my opinions and my thoughts. I want to hear what you guys think down below in the comments. Keep the debate going. Keep it clean down there. And with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.